Um, for people who were on the last show, you would have known that we kind of merged the Reggae Boys community with the Reggae Boys and Girls Supporters Club. So we have transformed all our social media platforms, and you will see the name now, Reggae Boys and Girls Supporters Club. Um, and so thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for subscribing and viewing all our social platforms. Just let me know in the comment section if you people are hearing me if you people are hearing me well. Cool. All right, so tonight we will be having a guest live on the show. He's here with me tonight. Um, Somebody that I've known for probably 2, 3, 4 years. We hail from the same parish of St. James, and what he has done for himself, is remarkable. And tonight, I have with me Christopher Pearson to share his journey, of football and what it is like since he was growing up. I've only known him for, as I say, about what 3, 4 years. Been around him probably a couple, weeks. When it was COVID time, so that's how I really, got to know him. So he's here with me tonight. This interview should have happened a long time ago, but you don't know he was in season and we couldn't get to finalize things. Um, but he's here tonight, to share his story. So, just let's welcome Mr. Christopher Pearson. Chris, how are you doing, man?
Doing good, bro. What's up?
There, man. Glad to see you. Glad to hear from you. I know you were back in Jamaica the other day. How was that visit?
Crazy good, bro. The cold, the winter did have become winter time. It was just good to go back and unwind, and just see family and spend time with family, take in the Jamaica breeze itself.
It was good. And I saw you participated in what was it? Was it like a charity game when you were here?
Yeah, it was a get together with just a situation with Devon Speedy Williams. As soon as I saw the whole situation, and the whole works and giving back, just being there, even if it's just your presence, I just wanted to be a part of it. Yeah, and it was just a small charity game with players that play overseas for a couple of years and stuff. I was the newcomer in the group, but it was fun.
Yeah, and I saw you, do a couple interviews. But let's start from the beginning. Where did you grow up? Were you born in Jamaica? Where did you grow up?
So initially, I'm Jamaican. Born and raised in Montego Bay, St. James. Cornell Courts was where I called home. Um, develop all of my traits, skills, life, everything you can think about. You see, with Chris right now, I develop all of that in Montego Bay, St. James.
What was it like, at say age, 6, 7? Is it that's your first memories of playing football, or you started from before that? What were your first memories of actually playing, football, whether on the road or something that's organized? It don't matter. What's your first memory of actually, football?
You know, tell you the truth, my first memory of playing, I feel as if it was just in my backyard. I was living part of my life was in San Erwin. And San Erwin is more of a country area. More down to earth. Rivers and stuff like that. So for my situation, I was just growing up as far as I can remember. I've been playing the game. It wasn't a situation where I said, okay, at 7 or 8, I started playing. From I know myself, knew that I could have walked. I was kicking a ball, so it's very hard to give you that one moment, but I can remember vividly the whole situation of me just breaking my grandma's garden, and just kicking the ball around with my dog, you know, as far as I can remember, those are the stuff that really kind of, from the root. But I guess competitively, my first ever competitive soccer game was with my primary school, Chetwood Memorial.
Settled.
Um, yeah, in the VMBS under 13s. And,
Stick up in. When you say you used to play like in the yard, you never used to play and kick ball and broke two window and them thing there. Make
all
people
the
have to
time,
cuss.
all the time, all the time, all the time.
Yeah, man, because I know that used to be my thing. You in the yard playing, next thing you know, you kick the ball, break a glass or something, But I mean, I guess that's how it is for youngsters. Always kicking the ball, whether in the yard, wherever, and something happened. But you said you went to Chetwood Memorial Primary. That school is kind of, when I was growing up, it was like one of the poorhouse primary schools, right? So you went to Chetwood Primary School. At what age did you actually start representing the team?
Um, I represented the team as soon as I went to Chetwood. The first day I went to Chetwood in first grade, my first intentions was to find out where do I find this football coach or where do I find this football team.
So you
You know,
play under 12 from what age? Because
so I was
primary
playing under
BMBS
12 from what age did I went to primary school? Probably,
6,
yes, probably about grade 7. No, not grade 7. I was 7, 8.
yeah, 7, 8.
Yeah, playing under 13. It was under 13 my time.
Okay.
So my first year I had I played. I didn't play as much, but I played. I was one of the players that people recognized as soon as I started spending time around the team, and I was basically the captain of the team when I was in second grade.
So in those years, and as I said, I know Chetwood is a juggernaut when it comes to BMBS, U13, U12. Like who were some of the guys that you had, like even when you just got there in first grade? Who were some of the guys, if you can remember any of them at all?
So my year, that year, if I remember clearly, it was like players like Alric, brother of Alan Atti.
Yeah, Ulrich out there, know him.
Yeah, and um, I don't remember those guys' name, but he was the main person who stuck out because of the matriculation of high school and
Mm-hmm.
the Jamaica Premier League. So he was the one who kind of stuck out the most to me, and he was the
Ulrich.
one I really can remember.
Okay, I know Ulrich. I know Ulrich. So you said at least second grade you started to get more minutes and captain the team from
Yeah,
so
one
early.
of one of yes, I was one of the main captains in the teams on second grade, straight off the bat. Express myself. Just the whole works of asserting yourself and being that type of person.
So what happened to? I mean, it would be like you have grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, grade 6. So what happened to those quote unquote senior players that would have been at the school before you? Is it that the coach just saw that you were a leader and you step up to the plate, or what do you think caused you to
Uh,
actually become a leader in the second grade of the team?
yeah, I feel as if it was just mainly about how dedicated I was to you know playing and just asserting myself as a student and as an athlete that time. I was always ready to do whatsoever the coach wanted me to do that time. I was always just hungry, wanted to play, just wanted to have fun, and I feel like the coach saw something in me, and I feel like that's why I got those opportunity at the time.
And then, at that time, would you say you were just, playing for fun because you have the talent, or is it that you had somebody around you to say, oh, you take good enough, you can make something out of yourself playing football, or you were just playing for fun?
It was always for fun. Always for fun. Me, it was always, and not going to tell you that I didn't had people who saw my talent and kind of prep me a little bit to be serious about it. But it was mainly fun, mainly expressing myself, and just finding playing with my friends. I feel like that was the joy I got from playing at that age.
Very good, very good. So at what time now you decided that, hey, you're going to, take football serious? You're in second grade, you start to captain the team at that point. You're going to be moving up to third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade. I remember I even saw a video of you, I think, playing in the VMBS league where you score a goal from way, way out. I think was that U12, U13?
Yeah.
I think, yeah, you score a goal like from, I think, half line. So at that time, was it then that people took an interest in your talent to say, hey, this kid is a real talent, and they take you, coach you, anybody, recognize the talent and say, okay, you're that good. I want to coach you. I want to this. Who are some of the people at that time to say, all right, I want to invest in your talent in terms of coaching you, giving you advice? Who are some of the people are, and at what time? Did that happen? Was it when you reached like say sixth grade, or how early did somebody look at you and say, hey, me go take up in my hand this, that?
Okay. So initially it was family. Uncles always recognized my talent and my drive from before I was playing competitively. But the person who obviously it's the coach and a teacher, the coach Nigel and a teacher at Chetwood, his name is Mr. Pierre Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two main characters who stood out, to just kind of show me a pathway, you know, or give me the platform and the privilege for, captain Chetwood and, exert as much, like, I guess, energy into helping me matriculate into someone for Chetwood and putting me, you get, on the platter to be seen as a Chetwood captain or as a Chetwood star player. So I feel like that those were the two persons at that time who kind of helped me or showed me a path.
And at that age too, were you playing like with your peers, or were you playing with like older persons in terms of any fun ball game? I know when you playing the school league, you're playing with your peers, but outside of that, were you playing against people who are older than you, like big man football, like in the community that you grew up in, where you playing, at a level with other people?
Always, always. I've always been the youngster who, you have the youngsters in the evenings with play first, and then you have the big men that come around and boy game done. So I was always the one who the men pick out and say, okay, you can come and play. So my situation was always like that. I've always played up, always played with men, I always have that, you know, that level of aggression and just confidence. I feel like that's where I built all of that from. So I've always been playing up 100%. I look out that age. I always look out for Sunday morning ball game because you get to play with men. You get to gain respect from the men in the community, and it was all about joy that time for me as well.
And I see, that I think that's something that's good when it comes out to community football, because I know, what's his name? I think he's playing at Dunby Holding right now. Before anybody knew, we were watching him in the scheme. A evening time I play football with me. I can't remember his name. He got called for trials at the last National U20. If I remember his name, I tell you. But he went to, I think, Irwin High.
Mm.
Yeah, and you play with him too sometimes. When he was, in like probably grade 7 or 8. He was there, in this scheme, run up and down a kick ball, and we say, oh, the youth, he have potential. So I guess it's important, when you recognize the talent, whenever you go, even in the communities to play football, it's always good to play up. You understand it because it helps develop it when you're going into an organized structure, what to expect, you know. In terms of playing U12, were there any championships that you won? You win Golden Boot. What were some of the accolades you got during your time playing
Yeah,
U12?
U12 that under 13 that time it was I didn't our school didn't want anything. I always went to the quarterfinal, semi-final, and one year I went to the final. But I'm always a player that's winning the Golden Boot. I'm always scoring a lot of goals from it. School and the whole situation of me just embracing my school and I guess the discipline side of it. I'm always winning some the most disciplined player or the most the something in that regard. But
Yeah.
my school has never won the championship while over my 6 years spending in primary school.
Experience. Okay.
But I definitely won the golden boot probably about 3 times.
All right. And then now, Chetwood, generally, you go Chetwood, you're a baller, you just take a trot across the road to Cornwall College. But in your case, when you left Chetwood, where did you go?
Okay, so my situation was I I've always wanted to go to Cornell College because you have, when you go to Chetwood or just the Montego Bay area, you have players just as Alric Otti, Peter Lee Vassell, you have the Jordan Fletchers and those type of, pedigree of players playing at Cornell College. So you want to go and rub shoulders with players like that. So it was always my intentions, but at that time, um, I didn't take education seriously during my time in primary school because it was all about football and all about that is what's going to navigate me throughout. So I actually passed for Green Pond High. Didn't went to Green Pond High. Didn't put up a day in Green Pond High. Thanks to just my talent and the people who recognize my talent. And I actually went straight to Monroe College. Um,
How did
Monroe,
that move come about?
yeah, it was just it was a situation where I knew a guy, Hanif Komrian. He's from Montego Bay as well, and on that whole summer before school started, I didn't knew what I was gonna do because I knew I wasn't gonna go to Green Pond. Honestly, it was just the situation I didn't recognize. Maturity didn't kicked in as yet for me to, knew that I should have balanced education and I mean parents. My mom always tell me, but at the end of the day, it's like you need to recognize it yourself to be able to get it done. So it was a situation where I was like, okay, I'm not going to go to Green Pond, but I had other schools that wanted, you know, all the JCs and but something about Monroe College and just the attraction around it kind of stood out to me and my mother. But the whole situation was I didn't really want it to go, but I was interested to see what it was.
Hmm.
Because of the whole boarding situation. So everything went on that whole summer. I was actually at home and I heard someone at my gate, and it was one of the Monroe old boys came at my gate in Cornwall Courts, and like he called my name, and my grandma was like, "Who's that outside?" I didn't knew the guy at first, and it was very respectable. You could see that he was a high profile person when it regarding just how he approached the whole situation. It was like we interested in your grandson. Actually, he said your son. He didn't knew my grandmother was my grandmother because
Hmm.
the whole situation of my grandmother just being young, looking young, but she said it's my grandson, and she just putting up that guard and being defensive. Like, what about my grandson? And it was just looking back. No, I've never really spoken about that situation, and he was like, "Yeah, we know his situation. Monroe College wants him, and we think it would be a good situation for him to develop as a person, and better his footballing career." And yeah, I heard him out. We spoke for a while, and I made the decision right there and then when after he proposed what Monroe College may look like, and yeah, I was ready to go that time.
All right, so people here, how we got to Monroe, because people in the comments are asked, how you reach a KC. But we will get to all of that, people. Big up everybody in the comment section. Grammy, Texican, CC, Owen, big up yourself. Good to see Kyle Wallace here in the comment section. Good to see Kyle Wallace. Good to see Kyle Wallace. People, share the live, share the live, send it all around, you know. Um, we have some nice things coming. Um, we have to put little pressure on the person here tonight. So when you just stay tuned, some tough questions for him coming up. We have to, give him the slow ball of them first and then the warm up. But we're gonna play a little ads people real quick and we'll get back into the
The Reggae Boys and Girls Supporters Club invites you to watch the elephants in the Caribbean trample on the grass. Trinidad and Tobago. Soca Warriors versus Jamaica Reggae Boys. Friday, February 6th, 7:30 p.m. at Catherine Hall, Stadium Montego Bay, and February 9th at Anthony Spalding Sports Complex, Kingston, Jamaica. Diaspora fans and YouTube enthusiasts can watch it on the JFF Live TV YouTube channel. A VPN is needed for those fans in JA. Watch along locations for those who like to socialize are at the original Dance Hall Thursday venue, 52 Dumbarton Avenue, Kingston, Jamaica. Come out and witness the marching bands and drone display. And remember, VPN needed for local viewers. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the RBGSC, Reggae Boys and Girls Supporters Club YouTube channel. Watch along also at Radix Restaurant and Lounge, 938 East 233 Street, The Bronx, New York. Bellyful Restaurant and Lounge, 2102 Utica Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. The Cafe, 225 Vons 07, Linden Boulevard, Cambria Heights, Queens. Local viewers, don't forget to watch the game on YouTube with a VPN. You don't want to miss it.
Well, it is in Alampool, Uta Ricky Chupa, the legendary songboy killer from Jamaica, and I support the Reggae Boys and Girls Supporters Club and the marching band, the Magnificent Troopers, #1 marching band from Jamaica, and they will defeat, destroy, and mash up any band or anyone who try to test them for the field. Yeah, hear me? Please tune into JFF Live to watch and support us. Reggae Boys and Girls Supporters Club, #1. What am I talking about? Is that Jamaican ding-a-ling thing swing? Check them out.
All right, people, we are back. We are back. We are back. People in there. All right, we are back. We are back. All right, so we heard how Chris got to Monroe. He was approached by one of the Monroe old boys. Um, how was the jump moving from U12 football to starting life at a boarding school in a different parish? Different environment, different coaches. How was that transition, and what was the move like in terms of football wise?
Um, it was definitely easy for me. I've always been around different communities, moving from Saint Irwin to Cornwall Court. So it was just a transition of um bettering myself as a player and as a student at that time. So it was it, it was seamless for me. The whole situation of moving to Monroe was very seamless. I couldn't I couldn't tell you how what problems or negatives I ran into at that time, but all I knew, everyone as a footballer going into a school, I feel like the school really, or as an athlete, the school takes good care of you, of in the sense of just settling down and getting everyone to know you and just the whole situation. So it was very seamless.
What was it like in terms of training? Training for under 12 versus now at a a prominent high school, and training for your first, I guess, would be U14 when you go to high school.
Yeah, it was training was actually it was very easy because I had Mr. Buckner. Anybody know come from Montego Bay, in the footballing situation knows Mr. Buckner, and he was the person who ran under 14, under 16, and the D Cup squad. So it was easy for me because football is universal in Jamaica. From once you technically good, you're expressive, you're confident. It was never a problem for me. It was just a situation of how am I gonna insert myself into a new environment and let people respect me.
And what was it like, in terms of your first season playing at Monroe? Your first season would be like under 14. If you remember who your coach was, and just tell me what was the season like.
Yes, Mr. Buckner. Mr. Buckner was my coach in under 14. Under 14, my first season. Uh, it was it was a season to remember. I just went and expressed myself in that season. That was my first year. If you know under 14 situation, you can play under 14 in grade 7 and grade 8, and then you move to under 16 in grade 9 and grade 10.
Hmm.
So my situation was my first year. I was grade 7. You had the grade 8 boys who were a little bit more physical than me, look more, stout, and the whole situation of just Monroe and being bulky and strong and fast. But me being the person who I was expressive and confident, the whole situation I basically turned Monroe philosophy of playing um my first year in under 14. um and I don't remember numbers, but I knew I scored a lot of goals. I brought crowd. My first game, I remember we didn't just the training situation. We played a practice game before our first game, and everyone heard about Christopher. Who is this Christopher? So we had our next game sometime soon, and the very first game, and I remember the whole situation. Just me and other players who were there. I remember we had Shade and we had Shanda Paul. The players, they know themselves. We were just expressive as a young group, and we brought the whole school down, and some people supported us, the teachers, the principal, all students. It's a boarding school, and when we have home games, whosoever is on campus, everyone is gonna be there. So the whole situation, it was just a fruitful situation for us as first year under 14 players, because we knew the next year we would have full support, and that's how I started Monroe.
And you feel like when you walk through the doors at Monroe and touch that field, I mean, the way how you play, they just have to change the philosophy. As I said, they would probably focus on big, strong, and fast, but they get technical players that are good with the ball at the feet, and you figure that that impact that you had caused them to kind of tweak the philosophy.
I mean, actually, there were players who were playing under 16 and D Cup that were technical as well, but I feel as if my situation was a little bit different because we had my close friend, which is Oniko Allen, was playing for the D Cup team. He was a fast player as well. He's very technical as well, but that wasn't mainly his game. And we had the under 16, which was we had another player called Dennis Lee. He was very technical as well. So I feel as if having just another player who is as much technical and as much smart, I feel as if it forced the whole structure of the school of how they view football, and we get in good players. We need to focus more because if you know Monroe is an academic school and is a track school at that time. So I feel as if we of technical and tactical players who went there and expressed themselves. I feel like it forced the whole school to shine more light on football itself,
And
and
as I
that
say, it's a crowd puller too. I mean, as I said, I mean, people start to rally around the team because technical skills, all of that, it's entertaining football. And I think that's a plus for the coaching staff and the school when they saw that. So
yeah.
hence probably a reason why they would, probably, tweak philosophy and kind of build the team around the type of players that they have. At that time, what position would you say you were playing?
I was always a number 10,
Yeah,
out of number 10. Always, if you see any team that I'm playing at the youth level, and you hear Christopher is always a flary, always expressive, always confident. So
yeah.
I'm a number 10, always a player who run games, score goals, get assists, the tricks, all of that.
So number 10. So your first season, did you guys manage to, come out of the group, the quarters, finals? What happened in your first year in seventh grade?
Yeah, my first year under 14, went to the finals, lost in the finals against Glenmuir. Um, that was my first year, and that was what 30, 13. My first year at under 14, I was 13. I was actually 12, um, about to turn 13. So yeah, I was a pivotal player in my first year.
Mm-hmm. All right.
We
What about the second year now?
Yeah, the second year, only God knows we won it all. That's under
All
four.
Island as well, right?
Yes, we actually no, we lost all Island to JC. I didn't actually play in that All Island game.
Okay.
But we won it all. I was MVP. I got leading goal scorer. Which was Mr. Buckner's last year of coaching the under 14s.
So that year, who you beat in the final in the rural era under 14, if you remember.
Cornwall College.
So you went up against your hometown school.
Yeah, yeah, actually.
And I think I saw another goal from you, another long range goal. And it was Simon Preston and Cummings. I just can't remember. I know you must see that goal there now. But I just can't remember. I know it's either under 14 or under 16, but it was Simon Preston and Coventry. I think it was probably under 14, the year when you guys won. But I just can't remember which game it is. But I saw it on Simon Preston's channel and he was on commentary. Anybody in the comments remember which game that and you can tell me. Was that your last year at Monroe?
No,
Playing for okay, so after under 14, the second
actually,
year,
I actually managed to play under 14 my last year and D Cup the same time. So
that's when you went to what? Ninth grade?
no, eighth grade.
Eighth grade? Okay,
Yeah,
so in that year you were playing under 14 and the Doncaster Cup.
which is under 19s. Yeah,
Yeah, tell us about that then. No?
yeah. It was a youngster. I wasn't as strong and fast as those players, the older players, but I always have something different up my sleeve as a player, and the coaches just wanted to have that in and around the team. I got my games here and there. Actually, I started the first game of the season while I was playing under 14. I started the U19s game against Lakovia. I can remember vividly. It was a rough game. If you know that area of D Cup,
Yeah,
it's
man. Lakovia,
area.
BB Cook,
Yeah, all of
States,
yes,
Magati.
crazy aggression, and I stood well in a game like that. I didn't score or assist, but hit crossbar, stuff like that. Just express myself, and I can remember that game for sure at Lakovia. But it was a learning year for me that year, the under 19 year while I was 14. I actually didn't play as much, but I was in and around the D Cup team.
So how many games do you think you got that year? Probably
I, Monroe has never really left the group, but I
okay.
think you played every team. We had probably like 6 teams in our group, 7 teams in our group, and you played them probably twice. So I probably played 8 games out of all of those games.
I know that group well, because I used to live in St. Elizabeth Junction. So I know you have Magati, Lakovia, Monroe, States, BB Cook, Newell.
Hmm.
There's a whole lot of schools.
Yeah,
And I think in the like U14 they will put Manchester in that zone too, but I don't think in the Doncaster Cup Manchester is probably in a different zone. But I know that they have a lot of games in that area. So you played under 14 and Doncaster Cup in eighth grade. Was that your final, football moments? So man, when you moved to ninth grade, did you play U16? Or what was next?
yeah. So when I went to ninth grade, I was initially playing under 16, um, and I was playing Doncaster Cup as well. Under 16 year, I killed it. I guess I put myself on the map that year as a player, and actually, I was I was the captain of the under 15s that year, the national under 15, the Reggae Boys under 15. So I feel as if that whole situation, brought my my supporters from the Kingston area, and the St. Catherine area, because you go up against the players that you see on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So and those are the teams that would play the finals of the Manning Cups and the Super Cups.
Mm-hmm.
So you know no one knew of Christopher Pearson before that time. As
So
soon as
first
I
year
went,
under 16. First year
yes,
under 16. Tell me what happened. How far did you guys go? Did you manage to win a championship?
yeah, we won the championship under 16 as well. Um, won all islands as well.
Who you
Um,
beat in the All Island final?
we beat it was JC that under 16 year. Um, and yeah, we won.
Did you score in that final? Assist
Yeah,
any?
yeah. Score. I think it was I don't remember. It was a close game, but I scored in the final and the All Island final.
Cool. Were you voted MVP that year? Anything? Any
Yeah,
other?
I was the MVP the whole island that year. My first under 16 year.
Cool, 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 cool. That's nice. So people, you see, you're following the story. So under 14 MVP in his second year. First year under 16 MVP again. He lost All Island in his second year under 14, but he won it first year under 16, also MVP scorer in the rural area final and also the all island final. How did you do in the Doc Costa Cup that year of your first year under 16?
Yeah, that year it wasn't the best year because of the Da Costa Cup. Just the um best year for the school itself because Monroe has never really passed the first round of
Mm-hmm.
the Da Costa Cup. So individually you'll always see Christopher Pearson. It doesn't matter what age, as I said, in youth, under 19s, under 16s, or under 14s. So I attracted a lot of people, and schools that year while I was playing the under 19s. Um, as I said, we didn't pass the group stage, so we had a short season.
Mm-hmm. So
And
that allow you to go back and finish up your under 16 and everything.
yeah, basically. So yeah, I finished up under 16. We actually didn't win that year as well, but I think we went to the semifinals that year.
That's your second year under
Second year
16?
of under 16.
Okay, cool. All right, then after your second year of under 16, what happened?
Yeah, ninth grade. I had in during that time I had the under 15s going on camps every weekend.
So just to
And
be clear, that's the national under 15.
15s,
So
yes,
you actually got called up to the national under 15. So continue.
yeah, and the coach then was Aaron Lawrence. Um, yeah, I was just as Kingstonian, say country youth. I came there just express myself as usual and impose myself as a person and as a player. And I feel as if that granted me the privilege to captain the under 15s that time. We played pre I guess preseason games against high schools. We played against Georges and the KCs and
Mm-hmm.
so that gave me the platform for schools to really saw me firsthand.
So I guess the Kingston school see and just decide say a time.
Yes, actually my first team and the first person who saw me was Never Bell.
Yeah.
The Georges, and I was intrigued by Georges because of the players that were there. You have the Gregory Missams and Alex Marshalls, and we saw those players playing the Super Cup all the time and
Mm-hmm.
played against them and stood up in game. And so I was playing for the under 15 and I was there. You saw those names and you saw Christopher Pearson as well. So the whole situation was never built before the whistle blew. I saw that guy walking on the pitch.
It coming to you.
Like, oh, yeah, yes, who is this? Who is this country youth? Who is this youth? The first thing he said, he was like, "You are ready to for the world, basically." And he told me, we're interested in you and we want you to come to the St. George's College and what's your situation? And I was intrigued. I wanted to go to George's College, so that was my situation. It just didn't work that time because one I had fast forward back to Monroe. I had my friends, my closest friends up to today, the Onika
Mm-hmm.
Allen, the Carrick Stewarts, the Ajay Stewarts, the Ricardo, but all of them, they're brothers. And Casey just came and swiped all of us as players in Monroe, and it was about seven of us. So I was like, I wouldn't want to be the other one to go to a different school. All my friends are going to KC, and KC is a top school, just as same with sports and academics. So it was a no-brainer that time, just because I'm friends. But if it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't for my friends, I would definitely be at St. George's College because of how warm and welcoming Neverbill was.
Cool. So St. George's was your well, Never Bell was the first person to approach you, but who approached you from KC? Or is it that,
Actually,
when they got the guys, you just say, hey, you're not gonna
actually,
lift me now.
Yes, actually, it wasn't me. It was our older friends, Onika Allen and Tremaine Stewart. They were the older guys. They were in six. They were going into lower six, and they knew about. So Casey knew about me, and they were like to Onika and Tremaine, we wanted you guys to put in a word for us for Christopher Pearson, and I was like, yeah, I'm ready. Cause they were going and they were the players who we knew from Montego Bay and we're at Monroe. And they're
Mm-hmm.
moving to Kingston now. So I was like, why not move? And they're our best players. So at the time, and so I spoke to the old boys in KC, which was Mr. Banks at the time. Everyone in Kingston who knows football should know Mr. Banks. And I told Mr. Banks, um, if I'm coming, my friends have to come. Carrick Stewart, Ajay Stewart, and Ricardo, but they have to come as well. And it was more of a change situation. He was like, okay, from once you said that, we trust your judgment when it comes down to players, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we all went in third form. Yeah, and we actually didn't finish third form in Monroe. We went in the middle of the school year.
Like the
So
January.
yes,
Okay.
we finished third form in KC.
Okay.
So we couldn't play that year. We had to sit out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we established ourselves in KC. You know, we still train with the Manning Cup team. You know, and it was just exciting for me to just be watching Manning Cup. You know, and even the players we trained with them, and even the coach Ludlow Bernard. My first year, even in third form, he wanted me to play. He wish I could have played
Mm-hmm.
this year, but if you know the whole schooling and footballing situation in Jamaica, you have to
Yep.
sit
Yep.
out a year. So,
So was
um,
your first game was when you were in 10th grade
yeah,
in Wanning Cup? Was
yeah.
that game the game in Dirt Park? Not Dirt Park, catching on? Was that your first game?
No,
Like official game?
no.
That mean I only saw you then after
Oh,
that.
it probably was actually.
Yeah, man. When you come off of the bench,
No,
that's the first time I saw you. The first time
no,
I
no,
saw you was
no,
the opener for the Manning Cup season, and it was held in Catching. That's the first time
no.
I
I
saw
didn't
you
get
play for
on the
KC.
bench. I started that game.
Okay. You
The
sure?
game it was a second game in Kachina where I came off the bench.
Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah,
Because I
but
remember that game, I was in the stands and I was in the stands with the guys and from the scheme, and they must say, "Oh, the youth, come on, come on, courts." I say, That's my first time seeing it. I think you got an assist when he came off the bench too, Was it an assist or a goal? I think you got an
but an
assist in that
assist.
game.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
my first time seeing you actually up close in a game. So your first year of playing Docker's Manning Cup actually for KC, what was it like? Or what was the environment like though when you went there?
Um, Schooling or football?
In terms of football and the environment, and next, you left a boarding situation at Monroe. You're moving, to the urban area.
Yeah,
Big school like KC.
yeah,
Like anything that stood out to you and off the
yeah.
pitch and on the pitch.
100%. The school itself is a sporting school. It takes sports very seriously. You know, the whole boy association, how much they put into, just as like Monroe. But you see more people in KC and the old boys. You see the work that they put in first, and they are there every day, every step
Mm-hmm.
of the day, the whole process. So the energy they put in, I feel as if it passed on to players and athletes in the school. You know, you can't have people who insert so much into the the the, the athletic side of it, and you don't perform. So I feel that's why you always have athletic side of it, like the runners and the jumpers, they do so well, and even football,
Mm-hmm.
because the old boys put in so much. So that was the main factor, and what stood out the most to me. And just the love of the game in Kingston is not the same in St. Elizabeth and
Mm-hmm.
Montego Bay. In Kingston, it's football. If it's not high school football, it's club football, and I never knew club football until I went to Kingston.
Were there clubs interested in you at that time too?
Yeah, actually, it wasn't clubs, but from once you go to KC, you're going to be
Uh,
introduced to Spanner Dennis
Harborview.
Santos.
Harborview.
Santos.
Santos. Oh, Santos. You actually played for Santos?
Yeah,
Oh, why I always think you are at Harborview?
I've never played for Harborview.
Why I always think Ludlow was the coach of Harborview. That's why I probably think that connection. But you
Yeah,
played
no,
for Santos.
yeah. Youth.
Um, look like he's getting a call. No, somebody I ring up your phone. Don't.
See me, hearing me clearly now.
Yeah, man, you're good.
I'm not hearing you.
You not hear me? Whoa. You have any AirPods? Let me show you what to do now. You have to reconnect your AirPods. Or is it now?
Clear, 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 clear.
Clear. Yeah, I mean, what tell us you have to reconnect your AirPods because sometimes that will happen to me. Just swipe down and go
No,
past
it clear,
speaker.
clear,
Good, I
clear.
know. Okay. All right. Let me run an ads real quick, people. Really, real quick. Me run back an ads real quick. Um, as you guys know, the upcoming game, February 6th and 9th, Jamaica versus Trinidad and Tobago. The Reggae Boys Supporters Club, in association with a couple restaurants in New York, Dancehall Thursdays in Jamaica, will be hosting watch parties for the Reggae Boys versus Trinidad and Tobago games. So
The
here,
Reggae Boys and Girls Supporters Club invites you to watch the elephants in the Caribbean trample on the grass. Trinidad and Tobago. Soca Warriors versus Jamaica Reggae Boys. Friday, February 6th, 7:30 p.m. at Catherine Hall, Stadium Montego Bay, and February 9th at Anthony Spalding Sports Complex, Kingston, Jamaica. Diaspora fans and YouTube enthusiasts can watch it on the JFF Live TV YouTube channel. A VPN is needed for those fans in JA. Watch along locations for those who like to socialize. Or at the original Dance Hall Thursday venue, 52 Dumbarton Avenue, Kingston, Jamaica. Come out and witness the marching bands and drone display. And remember, VPN needed for local viewers. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the RBGSC, Reggae Boys and Girls Supporters Club YouTube channel. Watch along also at Radix Restaurant and Lounge, 938 East 233 Street, The Bronx, New York. Bellyful Restaurant and Lounge, 2102 Utica Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. The Cafe, 225 Vons 07, Linden Boulevard, Cambria Heights, Queens. Local viewers, don't forget to watch the game on YouTube with a VPN. You don't want to miss it.
Well, it says in Alampool, Uta Ricky Chupa, the legendary Songboy killer from Jamaica, and I support the Reggae Boys and Girls Supporters Club, and the marching band, the Magnificent Troopers, #1 marching band from Jamaica, and they will defeat, destroy, and mash up any band and anyone who try to test them for the field. Yeah, hear me? Yo, please tune into JFF Live to watch and support us. Yo, Reggae Boys and Girls Supporters Club, yo, #1. What am I talking about? Is that Jamaican ding-a-ling thing swing? Yo, check them out.
back, we're back, we're back, we're back, we're back, we're back, we're back. People, don't like up the video, please. We are telling you, please, please, please. What I'm doing in the comment section, man. Like up the video. All right, Chris. Um, When it come on to Manning Cup, how many title winning teams have you been a part of?
Manning Cup.
Yeah.
Only one.
Only one? You won only one, and that was your last year?
Yeah, I've
Your
only one.
last year.
Yeah.
Like, how was that last year, knowing that you're a kid from Montego Bay, you know, came from, Chetwood, came from Corner Courts, and you went to Kingston and you won the big chip, how was that year for you?
It actually was surreal, and I didn't even recognize it until after I left school. Those situations you don't even recognize because you've been in Kingston for how many years? 3, 4 years before.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even recognize all of those things until you really get the time to sit back and look at it. But it was crazy. It's a crazy feeling. The whole work that you put in and the dedication of just being away from your family to go to school, and it felt like I've accomplished what I really wanted to do.
In that team, though, what was your role? Some of the times, and let me say this too. Like, this is how I see you as a player, right? To me, you're like, you here?
Yeah, yeah.
To me, you're like, I would say like, like a hybrid eight type of player, which is a 8/10. You're like a KDB, a hybrid eight. We can play as a eight and a 10. That's how I see it. But players like you, which have skill sets similar to you, they tend to be moved around because they have so many good things about them rather than a player who is a definite six, and anytime a player goes similar six. A player like you, they can play you an inverted winger. They can play as a number 10, they can play as a number 8. Sometimes I see them do. I'm a Chelsea fan, so Loftus Cheek was a player who I think in terms of similar build, play similar to you. Sometimes they will use him like inverted, they will use him as a 10 sometimes they use him as an 8, and a lot of times like because you have so many skill sets, it's like the coaches don't know where to put you. So sometimes they'll put you, as I say, I see sometimes when they play for KC, you tend to drift on the left hand side where you're cutting on your right. Sometimes you play in the pocket, which is the 10, and sometimes you play deeper in midfield. But what was your role in that team,
My role was just
your
to
final year?
my role that year was just to keep the team stable, win games for the school, be the best player on the field every time I play. That was my role. I didn't had a role,
Yeah,
a number 10 or whatever.
yeah.
My role was definitely to make the school successful that year. It was my last year, and I had to do it for myself as well. So yeah, it was just to create stability in the team. Create for the team, score when I can for the team. And just keep the team together. I wasn't the captain, but I was
One of the leaders.
definitely one of the leaders. And one of the players who had to make things happen.
And then after winning the Manning Cup, what came next? Was it the U20 or you went to play JPL? What was next?
Yeah, during that time it was just a span of so many things. It was U20s, JPL, and the senior men's reggae boys.
Yes, before we even reached the U20, I remember this is what a lot of people who are in the comments or in a lot of groups they want to talk about, because from that U20, I don't hear your coach who coaching that U20 speak on an interview. I don't hear the players them talk. So I just get ready for the comment section because I know a lot of people want to hear about that U20. You see, I always said this, and a lot of people said the U20 that you're a part of was one of the best assembled team and could have even been better. And I think that's why a lot of people, you know, feel so bad about how that tournament went. Because even the last two, we just feel in terms of talent for talent, the team that you are a part of, I think was one of the better teams to be assembled. Now, playing schoolboy football, you get a call up in the latter stage of the World Cup qualifiers. Yourself and I think
Jimenez.
Tyrick Zimmerman, right? What was it like, knowing that this is a World Cup qualifier? You're what, 18 years old, 19 years old, you get called up to the national team. How was that experience? In a World
Surreal,
Cup qualifier at
surreal,
least.
surreal, surreal, surreal. The word. That's the word to use to describe that whole situation. Surreal. I didn't have a clue. The week before I was playing schoolboy football. I was just there, and we had under 20s camp, and it was just the idea of Paul Hall, who merged the under 20s with the local team, and we played a game, a friendly game, and I expressed myself as always from youth, from under 13s, under 14s, and just went in a new environment, and I expressed myself, and Paul Hall just saw me, and I scored from the half line in that behind the half line in that game, and just how I imposed myself on the game, and I was just only 19 against seasoned JPL players, so it was just a situation of just me being confident and expressing myself, and I got the opportunity, same as Ziminis.
Definitely. And he actually, I think he played.
Yeah, yeah,
you were in the mud squad, but he actually played, right?
yeah.
And I think I see Devon Speedy Williams posted something about you, and I don't remember what it says, but what was it like, being, in the training session with somebody who is a pro for years, and encouraging and giving you comments like that?
It crazy, your stuff, man, but the situation with Devon is always a player who I've always looked up to. Even though, like, if you do think about what he has done for Jamaica, he has played a pivotal role over the span of 5 6 years in the midfield for Jamaica. He probably hasn't gotten the flowers he should, he deserves, but he's a person who I will always give him, the flowers he deserves. But because he gave me while I was playing in the schoolboy football, but yeah, Speedy was just a guy who I saw that time, and I had to just express myself with him, just being there, learning from him because he was just a great, very good human being.
And then again, too, he plays in midfield. So I guess I don't know if he sees himself in you or what it is, but he clearly identifies something in you that he sees that is an asset to the country. That could that actually got you into the national team. And then after you played for the national team, I know you played for Cavaliers. What was the difference? Schoolboy football, national team, Cavaliers. Like how? What was the difference in any one of those? Playing for the national team or joining up with the national senior men's team and playing, the JPL with Cavaliers.
The whole situation was very different. Playing with the national team, playing schoolboy football, and playing JPL, it was a whole different situation.
Yeah.
All three were different. They had the differences, but I the the men's national team was just a whole different situation. You
Because you're
had
talking about players from Europe playing in the EPL, players from playing in the French league, you got MLS, USL. Yeah. So as I say, it's a whole other level for that.
yeah, so it was just new for me. I had to just the whole situation. As I said that time, I was just a sponge to everyone that was around me. I had to learn from all the players, and just embrace what was around me, and not to get caught in the situation of, oh, they're all superstars. But yeah, just embrace where I was that time, and to just take in the whole situation, because that's a one once a that's a
Once in
dream.
a lifetime
Yes,
opportunity,
you get me. The
I
whole
mean, to be a
situation.
schoolboy footballer and get called to the national team in a World Cup qualifying campaign.
Yeah,
I mean that's like the height of you know what a footballer wants. And it came at what age 19, 18, 19.
yeah. Even before I
So
left high school.
fast forward now to the U20 campaign. You got called up to the national senior men's team. Then you move over to the U20. You're the captain of that team. I mean, take us through that tournament. Um, I don't know. You captain the team. The performances were not what a lot of people expect. Especially from you. But take us through that campaign.
Yeah, it was just simply a learning process. I wasn't a professional as yet. You know, we didn't had any professionals in that team. Well, we did actually. We had overseas players, which we had a lot of English-based players, but we weren't professionals as yet. The professionalism that we were exposed to was Jamaica's professional environment, which
Mm-hmm,
definitely wasn't in it couldn't be compared to the professional that I know today.
mm-hmm,
So I feel like that was where we lacked in comparison to other teams, even the US that won the whole tournament. Even Honduras. I didn't knew Honduras had so many professionals at the time until I became professionals and I saw players who we played against. Even the Dominican Republic
Yep.
had real professionals. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like what we lacked that year, simply looking back and just to sum it up, I feel the whole situation was just we weren't professionals as it. We were very talented. We were a very talented group. We 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 played we played we played Honduras. They beat us 5-0. They weren't as talented as us. We played Haiti, weren't as talented as us. Damrep, even the Damrep, the professional players that were there, they weren't as talented as us. But it was just understanding structure and understanding how to deal with a tournament situation. And I feel like that was our downfall as amateur players. And I feel like it's our reality, and that's our learning process as players. And we sure with every player would take full responsibility of not knowing and just putting our best foot forward at the time. And thankful that tournament we still had players who showed enough, who became professionals through that tournament as well.
There's a rumor that during that tournament you were injured. That's why you weren't at your best. Was there any truth to that? That you
No,
had an injury carrying during that tournament?
definitely not injured. Well, I've always had a knee situation. I
Hmm.
think it was just goat spirit at the time, but yeah, just lately I did unfortunately I did a knee surgery because I had my MCL torn, but I'm fit again. But that time I didn't had any.
Okay, because a lot of persons were sprouting that it was
Mm,
an injury why you were not, it seemed to not be at your best. What about coaching in that tournament? A lot of persons feel that during as you rightly said, that squad was very talented, but a lot of persons think that I don't know, it's maybe lack of a tactical awareness from the coaches. Or in terms of coaching, what was it like? What did you get from sessions with your coaches? I really wanted to break that down because the talent that was assembled for that squad, Chris, I think was immense. And
listen,
we on the outside, we can't fathom why that team didn't do what we expect. You know what I mean? So you can go ahead.
yeah, as I said, coaches can do as much. I thought our coach did the best he could when it comes down to selection because our team was just very talented in the sense of we had players, but you had players that just had to play. Um, we had players who were dominating in the schoolboy football, dominating in the JPL at the age of 18 and 19. So some players were just picking themselves just based off of what they've done and what they were doing in the group itself. But um, as I said, we were professionals. We didn't knew how to assert ourselves in situations. We didn't knew what what it took to deal with a tournament situation. Um, we try the coaches, the federation, they try to, I guess, emulate in the preparation for us to play games probably every 2 days and 3 days. I mean, they did the most they could, but we are players. We play. Coaches can put teams together, but we just didn't. We weren't good enough in comparison to
Yeah.
the 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 teams that we played collectively. But if you should handpick players, we definitely had talent, but it was just the fact of us players not knowing and not never been up to a situation like
Hmm.
of the nature of that.
And tactically too, like what was it like tactically? What would you say that when it comes on to tactics in that tournament, the coaches were spot on, but the players just they just weren't where they were supposed to be in terms of professionalism, etc., etc. Would you say
Yeah,
that the coaches prepared you guys as how they could, but as I said, professionalism from the players in terms of what you guys now know it to be wasn't there?
not just professionalism but development. Our country, we know, why do we have 19-year-old players not being professionals? We are playing against 17, 18-year-olds that are professionals. So it's a whole different situation. You
Hmm.
know, if you look at the men's national team as well, you know, that's how they select players. If you have to be playing at the highest level,
Hmm.
performing at the highest level to compete against players in the world that are playing at that level. So that it was simple. We just weren't at the level. Um, Even if our coach our coach put out the tactics, they were there, everything. We just couldn't grasp it as a group quickly enough because we've never been to the nature of that situation.
Okay.
So, it was clearly just a learning process for us as players, and we it might not look as great as a group, but we definitely have a bunch of players who are no professionals out of that group.
Out of that group. Um, so you moved to America. You got the contract. Your first stop was USL. Um, Now you are playing in the MLS Next Pro.
Franchise, yeah, MLS franchise,
Um, are you looking to? It's your off season right now, right?
preseason.
Preseason. Oh, off season gone already. No, it's preseason. So you are re-signing with Columbus
Already,
for the upcoming season.
yeah, already did.
Already did. All right. So how has it been in Columbus? As I said, I picture you as a hybrid, eight. Sometimes I think you can do well at the six, but when I've watched some of your games, I see it seems like they play a back three, and sometimes you rotate on that, right side of the back three, and then when in possession, you probably drop into the six or eight slot sometimes. Like, what was that like for you?
No, I must. Game changed 100%. Maturity, just development itself, physique, all of that. As I said, is development, and that's where my development is now as a player. I'm now playing as a right centre back. Still have the attributes. If you know Columbus is a ball playing team. Is a very dominant team, and if you know all centre backs in the world now, they have to be technically available to be playing, tactically available, and just physically there, and you have to have speed, the structure itself. So I feel like how I've developed into a man, I feel as if my body type, just how where I am as a player now suits Columbus as a right centre back, and that's where I've been playing, and I love it because Columbus is a dominant team, and I love to play the football.
And I've watched, a couple of your clips, but you still get involved in the attack. I see you have, good assists in the build up, all of that. Is that part of your role as well, playing, as a right center back? As I said, sometimes when you're in possession, you move up, like, the 6, 8 slot. I don't know how far they allow you to go, but is that part of their plan? With a player like you, they know you have, ball handling skills, good with a pass, good with the feet. Is that part of their plan? When you're playing a right center back, they allow you to, push forward a little bit more than a normal defender would.
Yeah, 100%. If you know Columbus, all their centre back scores goals. It doesn't matter what level, academy level, second team or first team. So it's just a philosophy that the club embraced, and I saw the work of it before I came here, and I was attracted by it. I didn't knew I was gonna be a right centre back, but I've always been attracted to Columbus football, and it's a reason why they're the number one in the US. Even though we didn't win the MLS, but everyone knows just based off statistics, players, personnel, just the philosophy of the club itself. And yeah, I've developed into a ball playing, attacking centre back, a centre back who involves in the build up from phase one to straight to the third phase of the game. And
Yep.
yeah, I feel as if that's where the game is heading now. All teams are playing with three centre backs, even if it's two. The centre backs have to be able to can get you out of trouble, and just have the game flowing free, and not just this, route one football anymore. So I feel as if that's why, you know, Columbus has seen me as a centre back, and I've been playing the centre back role.
And any plans to, try to get into the Columbus first team? Is anything like that available, or are you just focusing on this season right now that's coming up, and let the chips fall where they may?
No, 100%. If you're a second team player in any team, you want to get to the first team.
Definitely.
But definitely, I am actually with preseason with the first team, full time, and it's a privilege and it's an honor to be rubbing shoulders with MLS legends, Darlington
Hmm.
Nagbe and the Cucho Hernandez and the Diego Rossis, and it's always a learning process for me. I'm not new to rubbing shoulders with high pedigree players, because with the national team we still have Leon Bailey's and all players.
Hmm.
So I feel as if it's a learning process for me, and it's a aim that I have, and it's a place that I want to be 100%. But situations, and it's good that the club has picked up my contract option, so that means the club has a plan for me. So
Okay.
until then,
And
um
this contract, is it like a year, 2 year, oh,
yeah, I'm on 1 year contract. It's an
1 year
option.
contract?
Understand
Okay.
contracts. So, but yeah, it's I'm definitely aiming to be a part of our first team.
All right. Cool. Cool. And there are two friendlies coming up. You think you'll be a part of the squad that's called up to face Trinidad?
I honestly, I really don't focus or think about the national team, because I'm not where I want to be when it regarding with my club. So my main focus is to get where I want to be with my club. From once you're playing at the highest level, and you're performing at the highest level, it would be great for me to be a part of our national team, even in my situation, because I love my country, and I want to represent my country, and
Definitely.
when it comes on to the talent area of it, I'm very confident in what I can do. But the whole situation of our national team, I'm in preseason now. Um, I'm not sure. I figure it's more of local players,
Yep.
so I'm not sure when it regarding the whole situation. But I've not gotten contact
Mm.
with the coach
All right.
of that situation. So
Boss, let me tell you honest truth. A lot of people who know you see you as somebody who can play the six for the national team, with the way you handle the ball, a lot of people see you as that type of player. Um, and from what we can fill up, people are saying we have a midfield problem. Even somebody say in the comments, let me put it up so you can see it. Fatal Flair says that Fatal Flair said them say this man I gonna be with CDM. Then forget about him. Yes, I want to know, like, people want to do. See the man right here, Him not gonna know him I play football same way. I would say we have a CDM problem. Do you think that, like, the six, suits your game, playing the
yeah,
six?
100%.
If
Always.
I'm being honest, bro, your your physique or your bulk up and everything, bro, like, trust me, the six, and then from ever since you're very fleet footed. When it come on to passing, we know you have that. Bro, me see a player pass, like a one time pass. A player play a 1-2 without at the back. You just one time the ball. Like, come on, like, like, if you're playing the six, bro, you should be able to use the ball, not afraid to go get the ball. And you do a lot of that for Columbus because, as you said, they're a ball playing team and you play the ball out the back. And when we're watching, the national team, like, people who play in the midfield is like they're always afraid of the ball. Listen, man, I say, like, and I just don't like the fact that people playing in that position, you're not supposed to be afraid of the ball. And you're supposed to get the ball and can, be on the half turn, ready to go left, ready to go right. You know what I'm saying? So I've always watched you and think that that position would suit you. And then again, as I say, you play as a 10, a lot of times. Sometimes you play wide. So with all that knowledge that you have previously, playing in that position, it would suit you. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on. The selectors, the coaches, like I'm gonna send me some clips, man. Like, yeah, play ball, yeah, hide yourself, man. Send me some clips so we can put on the channel, my boss.
No, I mean football is universal now. Playing the US, um, everything is there. I feel as if the coaches really want a player, they're going to find a player.
I
You
agree with you.
our country is a country that it's very hard for us players internationally, especially in the US if you're not, logistically if you're not an local US player. So what
Hmm.
I've done over my past years, have you seen? I've spent how many years? 3 years now in the US since I'm still here, still progressing, still learning, still developing into a better player. I'm always a better player every day.
Hmm.
You if so, that's my attitude, and I'm a big believer in faith, and you don't rush anything as a player. You only can control what you can control. So
Definitely.
so it would be nice, and everybody has their ideas, and this whole thing is subjective, and I'm just very privileged to be in the conversation right now, and you seeing me as a player who can solve that situation. But I'm playing at a second team level now, and I have full confidence in myself. We have players that are playing in in top leagues in around the world now. So you know I can never feel as if I can put myself in that conversation when I'm not playing in the best league in the world or some of the top leagues in the world. But I will tell you 100%. I will always give a good account of myself if I am called upon for the national team. Doesn't matter if they play in the Premier League or not, because I know our situations as Jamaicans. It's very hard for us. But the consistency is what's most important. for me right now in regards of my club and just growing as a player and allowing my club to see me as of value to them. So it would be great if I could be a part of the national.
Definitely. Definitely, bro. And I understand your sentiments, and I've always had discussions with people in various football groups, and this is what we would like the mentality of a lot of our players to be. Because you said that you're not really looking towards the national team, you're looking towards getting your club career going. And this is the mentality that we would like a lot of the players have. Focus on your club career. Try to get a better contract. Try to get into a better league. Though, yes, I know if you're called upon, you're going to, put your best foot forward, but your focus shouldn't be on getting to the national team. Your focus should be enhancing your career, getting to, a better club, bettering yourselves, all of that. And then when all of that comes, your national call up will inevitably come. You understand? So you heard him, people. Focus on your club, focus on yourself, getting better, earning a better contract, etc. And don't worry about national team. All of that stuff will come. Um, but I want to ask you a question, Chris. You have an agent? Are you signed to any agent right now?
Yeah, 100%.
You have an agent. All right. So I mean, all the best for the upcoming season. Before you go, just tell me your five Mount Rushmore players internationally. It doesn't matter.
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, your five Mount Rushmore, meaning your five best players ever.
Okay. Um, five
Hmm.
best players. Okay, so 100% Jude Bellingham is a I
Lord God Almighty.
is
They
a
reach at Jude. They reach at Jude already, my boss.
yeah, nah,
I,
Jude, you
I hear
have
five,
to be
man.
the
I hear
first. Have
five.
to be the first. Jude Bellingham, crazy. He, as a person, as how he bring himself
Yeah,
off field, those are the things that I in focus on and invest in as a person as well. So that blow is his name far up the chart. All time, you have Zinedine Zidane.
yeah.
Now I play as a centre back, so I watch a lot of Saliba. Um, uh,
That three player gone so far. You got
Jude
Zidane,
Bellingham, Zidane, Saliba.
Jude, Saliba.
Yeah. Paul Pogba has always been,
All right, Pogs.
yeah, always a part of me.
You love the
But
midfielder, them though, man.
yeah, no, I remember I grew up as a midfielder.
Yeah.
So um, but yeah, Virgil van Dijk now as well.
Um,
You can't get rid of
all right.
players with great mentality, stature, and just being a great person. You have to look up to people who have great personalities and affect people's lives. So those are the people who I see as not just as players but personnel.
Mm-hmm.
They are great people for sure.
And now, give me your all-time five-a-side players that you have played with locally. All-time five-a-side. You have pick a five-a-side. All-time five-a-side players you played with locally. So you have to have a goalkeeper, one defender,
When
the midfielder yourself, and give me two wing and a forward.
players that I've played with.
Yes, players that you have played with. You have pick a five-a-side team.
Okay, so okay. Okay, the best player I've played with locally is Vino Bartlett from Cavalier.
That's the
Um,
goalie.
that's the goalie.
All right, boom.
Um,
Goalie. Give me a defender now.
Centre back has to be Richard King.
Richard King. All
Uh,
right. Give me a
that's
midfielder. Now. Well, you are the midfielder. Give me a winger and a forward now.
Dwayne Atkinson.
Busy and what the forward.
Striker. Best striker
Somebody,
who the person who met me score up, met me get a lot of assists still is Colin Anderson. Have to give him.
Colin and this. You say any more the whole Cavalier, Mr. Speed must proud now.
No,
Yeah?
yeah. I mean,
You
I
know,
get
not even one of your KC ball of them in the name out. Yeah?
no, and that's what I tell you. The level was different. JPL is a different level. You know, you
Yeah.
have talented players, and it's only five. It's only five. Probably if it was 11, it would be different. But
All right,
have
so Vino Bartlett, people. This is Christopher Pearson's. I'm gonna go make a graphic and put it on the comment tab. Christopher Pearson, all-time five-a-side team that
local,
he has played with locally.
local. Yeah,
Vino Bartlett, Richard King is his defender, himself as the midfielder, Busy Atkinson,
yeah,
and Colin Anderson. All
yeah,
right, that time five-a-side team, people.
yeah.
I'm gonna make a graphic, put it on the community tab so you can see it. We share it on the social media platforms too. But Chris, I thank you for coming on. Let the people know some used to beat up in a FIFA, just let them know. A long time, I don't know place in people, but during COVID, we don't even get to talk about that. During COVID, you had to come home to Mobi, and that's where I actually met Chris. So we spent a few days, we play ball, we play FIFA, etc., etc. So that's where I get to know him. And yeah, maybe beat him up in a FIFA a couple times. Well, in company scheme and then yes, I'm me at the top dog in a FIFA.
Yeah.
But it's good having you. It's good having you on, Chris. Become a friend of the movement, the Reggae Boys and Girls Supporters Club. And I really, really appreciate you coming on. And whenever I call upon you, I know you will answer. As I said, people, you agreed to do this interview long time, but as I said, we're going through some changes, and we're back on track now. So big up yourself, Bala. Thank you for coming in, and you know, just big up the Reggae Boys and Girls Supporters Club before you go.
No, 100%. It's always great to see more supporters for the Reggae Boys and the whole works. Yeah, the consistency and just keep on work hard in the sense of empowering conversations like this from former Reggae Boys. And no, 100% have to lift my hats out to you, because these type of things, I know it's hard, but it's always great. And as I said, giving back to Jamaica, even if it's a conversation and just my presence, I will always be a part of it.
All right, bless up my baller. Somebody in the connection say, yo, keep your head up high, sky's the limit. Um, Big up everybody for tuning in. It's a pleasure for having all of you here. Chris, yo, big up yourself, my boss. We
Yeah,
link.
man, respect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
man.
boss.
Yeah,
Bless
man.
up, man. Big up everybody in the comment section. Grammy, I you know what going over here, so why me have to end the interview? Grammy. But big up everybody for coming on. People keep sharing the live, like up the live. Um, Tomorrow we'll be having a next show. It's going to be well, after I end this, I will figure if we're doing it tomorrow or we're doing it tonight. It's kind of late now, 10 o'clock, but I'll probably do it tomorrow night, you know. But big up everybody for coming on, continue liking and sharing. Um, but I appreciate everybody for coming on. Jeremy Lee, Shavan. Shavan, what was the question? JPL, Shavan, that means you're not listening to the show, you know. Shavan, that means you're not listening to the show. You're not listening to the show, Shavan. See, another stream this is an interview me did I do, man. Me want to forward for the JPL thing, but um my phone battery is dead. So that's why you see me have to do so. Unless me have to send the link to somebody else and him jump on. But Shavan, you now listen to the show. You see, you tell me about the ask question. Eh? You now listen to the show, man, Shavan, man. JPL or USL. Yeah, me ask him that. He talk about the JPL, the USL. He talk about um playing for Reggae Boys versus playing for Cavaliers versus playing in the USL. Sure. Shavan, you now listen to the show, man. Mrs. You now listen to the show. But I will do the JPL review show tomorrow, people. Wow, you know want to stay? If you don't want to stay, just tell me, you know, me make CC, me send CC the link and CC come on and I'm probably use a different phone and come on. Or if me get a charge and me can deal with this. Bomb Sports, big up yourself. Bomb Sports, what you say? You want to do for me little thing tomorrow? Alright. Bomb Sports said tomorrow. Tomorrow, CC, line up yourself for tomorrow. You see me? Me don't know if you get range on them something in the boss man. So me make Bomb Sports show me how to do the range business. And you get a range. Me don't know how to do the range business. See? Bomb Sports, how you deal with the range business? Last man, Mr. Big for range youth. Is that a good look? Don't be like them man, they're big range, you know, my brother. But tomorrow we run off the JPL show, man. Wow. 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 Bob Sports, what you say? Oh, CC I go to JPL show and him now go match. Wow, wow. CC, what's your response to that, CC? People in JPL are hot up right now, you know. The JPL are hot up right now, you. Hot, 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 hot. Click on them name and make them a moderator. So we may go find a name now, my boss. Chevron a big wrench. But if you click on the name, which part of them? Me see, put user in timeout, ban user. That alone, me see Bob Sport. Put user in timeout and ban. I did it before, and I just remember where me do it from. But it's alright. Yo, my battery I got dead, yo. So if you don't want, let me see if I can forward the link to somebody. Because what happened is that my audio now play up on the laptop. So that's why. That's why. Then I WhatsApp or something. Grammy, I go send link in a group. Can jump on. Bye people, bye.